everybody, today's October 2nd, and I think it is definitely time to do an October garden tour. There's a lot going on out here. Not as much as normal, but there's a lot going on. I'm excited to show y'all the garden. Okay, so normally I start over there, but since I was already walking around the garden this morning looking at everything, why don't I just start right here? So as you can see behind me, these 16-inch Louisiana long okra pods are doing great. I mean, seriously, check those things out. What's crazy about this okra is even at that size, you can still use it. It's not fibrous, which is unheard of for okra. I mean, seriously, y'all, look back there at those. These things are cool. I've got a bunch right here naturally drying out, which is awesome. Love to save seeds. Now, I've got a section here that I've done nothing with. I'm going to put something in here. I'm thinking brassicas, but I'm not sure. Haven't decided. And that's the section right there. And you can see these okra have fallen over. They're just top heavy. And honestly, all that's about to come out here very, very soon. This is the section where last week I planted zucchini in here, radishes, turnips, which you're starting to see little growth coming up through there of the turnips. And then these are the orange carrots. It's still too early to see any growth in there, but in the next week or so, those will start having heads popping up and looking really good. Those Thai soldier bush beans. I'm excited to see what those things do. And these are those dwarf okra. And of course, they're only called dwarf okra because the plants only get so tall. But y'all, these pods are something else. These plants produce and produce and produce. And look at that flower. I mean, look there. So I am definitely saving a lot of seeds from these plants right here. I'm gonna give them out to friends and spread the dwarf okra game around. All right, right over here, I am so excited to show you all this area. It's been, I think, 12 days now since I planted the garlic and those purple carrots. Okay, look at that. Absolutely amazing. And if y'all haven't seen the last video or so, where I talk about vernalization, basically the cold weather requirements that garlic needs. I did that for these, y'all. Go back and watch that video. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but if you're growing garlic in the south, definitely do that step. And I'll put a link to that video up right here. But the growth on these garlic are just honestly blowing my mind. I've never seen them grow this fast. Baby George. Baby George, what are you doing? All excited to be outside. You excited? What are you doing? Say hi to your fans. Say hi. Okay. Okay, y'all. Those are all the carrot tops right there popping up. You can see how well they're doing. So again, when you're planting carrots, once they start to germinate and grow, it's just a game of keeping them watered in and letting them grow to their fullest potential. So those carrots are on point. They're doing great. This corner, y'all, I still have some tomato cages in here, but I mean, look at the flower growth in there. So good. Okay, so this bed right here is the bed that I don't ever really have an idea of what I'm doing with. So I threw some okra, so I threw some okra in here that I got from Bowtie Life in the garden. David, he sent me those okra that I showed you all in that one video, those hill country okra, and they're doing good. I planted a bunch of those zipper cream peas, and only a few of those plants have taken off and grown, but that's all right. It's all good. So there's the okra growth, and then those are those beans right there. Still have all this open area that I could totally put something in here. Haven't decided what yet, but I've got a few ideas, especially since winter, fall and winter. Fall is here and winter is around the corner. But again, I don't really get a winter here. This blackberry bush, these two blackberry bushes right here have really come back on. I'm hoping they'll produce again now that the weather is back to kind of like springtime weather. I would love to have another round of blackberries, but we'll see. I don't know. Okay, so the indeterminate tomato bed in the spring has now become a bean, okra, squash, and a tomato bed again. I've put some tomatoes out here that are just going nuts. Check it out. Okay, so of course, right off the bat, y'all, garlic, what am I saying? Basil everywhere, doing great. Those beautiful, beautiful cosmoses right here. And I'll be honest, everyone, I do not remember planting these, but I love them. This cardinal basil, just absolutely beautiful. But look at these lemon boy tomato plants right there, doing fantastic. Got a squash plant in here. I'll put the name of it up right here. Doing really good. Hopefully they'll actually produce one of these squashes. I'm dying to see them. Bean plants are doing really good. This is that mystery bean. I did not plant any runner beans in this garden, and yet I have definitely a pole bean of some kind right here. Pretty sure it's a Kentucky green bean. That's what it's reminding me of, but I'm not 100% certain. But I am certain of this. Look at all of the green beans that this plant is putting on. Y'all, you can't beat that. Now, last month I put out a short asking people, hey, do you know what this plant is? This big old huge volunteer plant right here. This thing is just a beast. A lot of people got the answer right, and a lot of people didn't. That's a tomatillo plant. It's a purple tomatillo plant, to be specific. Now, I had that planted right there, and I'm assuming a rat deposited that seed right there. Could have been a bird, but definitely probably a rat. So from this section on are all okra. So we've got those kind of okra, which, if you remember, these are the okra that I've planted from a pod that I found up in a closet that was being dried out. Been up there for a couple years, y'all. And look at, I didn't think the seeds would do anything, and look at that. These things have come on. I believe these are the Star of David okra that I got from Baker Creek a few years ago. They don't sell them now, but I'm going to save seeds from those. So I always have them, because I just think they're a beautiful okra. And when they're small, like that size, or like that size right there, they are very, very delicious, easy to use in all kinds of applications. I liked canning those a couple of years ago. So definitely going to always be growing those. Really cool. Bunch of orange Jing okras right here. Just beautiful okra, in my opinion. Okra flowers, of course, are just my absolute favorite. I mean, look at that one, y'all. My gosh, that is so beautiful. You know, looking at flowers like this, doesn't it just amaze you what you find in the garden? As I'm talking, look at this. Got a bumblebee going into a flower. I'm glad that thing didn't come at me. We got more green okras over here. That thing came back to say hi. All right, I'm gonna leave it alone. More green okras. I believe these are the spineless, the Clemson spineless. In fact, I know that's what they are. Really, really doing good. Okay, so we're over here to this bed. This has been my eggplant bed all year. We've got these gomba, pretty sure I'm pronouncing that right, eggplants right here. They don't get really big, but man, I tell you, I got stuck by a doggone thorn or off of those things yesterday and got me good. I think it was that one right here, actually. Whew, did not feel good. We got another one of these Thai purple rib eggplants growing. I think that's just a beautiful eggplant, y'all. The shape, the coloring, I mean, that purple is just gorgeous. Absolutely love that. Thought we had another one. We'll come around. So a lot of this bed is going to come out this month. Definitely got to take care of all this basil. It's just insane. We got this Carolina Reaper plant right here that's really not done anything. It hasn't died, but it hasn't produced a single pepper, which is slightly annoying. Got that beautiful eggplant right there. I believe that's a Rosita eggplant. You can see there's a lot of life in that bed, but there's not a lot of production in that bed. So I will be changing this bed out fairly soon. I'll keep the eggplants that are living and producing, but majority of this is going to come out, and I'm going to definitely start getting some other crops in there. Since we're back in this corner where we started, let's go from here that way. My roses have really come on, doing really good. This whole section just got destroyed by my yard people. Very, very not happy about that. These asparagus beans are still producing, y'all. I planted these in the springtime, and look at it. They are still putting on fruit. Now, not as much as earlier in the year, but I think as the weather cools, these plants are just going to go crazy. I'm letting these dry out. That's why they look like this. When the pods get like this, y'all, I can't do anything with them. I just save the seeds, but I like to let them dry out. Not when they get eaten up by whatever did that. But that's why I have that one like that. I just let it go. These are the ones that you would eat when they're nice and thin. Like, in fact, I'm gonna harvest these later. All right, all this bed right here is the sweet potato volunteer bed. I did not think there'd still be sweet potatoes in after I did the harvest, but they are. And I'm really excited about this. This is a corn, believe it or not. Now, I had this whole section planted with corn, but I had rats that kept eating everything, getting fat. They are no longer. But I have one lonely corn stalk right there. Now, I know what you're going to say. If you've grown corn, you know you have to have a lot of corn. They got to pollinate each other. I get that. I know. But I can't pull that one out. I'm just going to let it grow, see what it does, have a little fun with it, considering those rats really got me good. All right, this section is the asparagus. I mean, look at that thing. It's starting to turn the colors they do in fall. And here in a couple months, I'll totally cut these completely down, all the way down to the ground, and just wait for spring next year where I can actually start harvesting and eating the asparagus. It'll finally be the year where I can start doing that. Very excited for that. Gotta get stuff planted in here still. Not sure what I'm putting there though. Got some volunteer dill. That's just, you know, some of these beds, y'all, just gonna keep it real with you. I'm incredibly busy with work and everything and life. Definitely need to get stuff planted, spend some time out here doing things, but it's all good, part of it. Okay, so for the most part, we're done with this garden tour. We've got one more section, which is actually kind of my favorite section. And then we're done, so let's knock it out. Okay, so y'all remember when I got this bed? It was sent to me by this company right here, and I'm not gonna lie, I've been really discouraged for the last week and a half. I didn't think anything was gonna grow in here. I've planted peas, cilantro, and then this one lonely tomato plant that has literally just that one tomato on it. But look what I literally just noticed this morning. The peas are finally starting to pop up. Now I planted cilantro through here and I don't see any cilantro buds. That's all right, we'll see. No big deal. I also put peas in this bed and that bed, and they are finally starting to pop up. So definitely need to be more patient on my end because they're finally coming. Now, this is the trellis area. Y'all know how much I love this area. I'm gonna show you why. I mean, look at those Taiwanese long beans just hanging. I love it. Okay, now this plant right here is the Rampicati zucchini plant, which in about probably a couple weeks we'll start having a bunch of these fruits, these zucchinis hanging. So there'll be those hanging, just really cool. But this plant has really taken off. As soon as the weather dropped just a little bit, it just took off. I mean, look at that. Every day I move the clip to that section of the plant, and you can see how much these plants grow each day. 3 to 4 inches a day. Just insane. Now, over on this side, these are the Kahari melon vines. I have one Kahari melon. He's right there. I'm thinking maybe a week or two it'll start to churn. It'll start to change into that orange that it'll become when they're ripe, and then I'll have to definitely get it out and harvest it very quick. The ripe smell of a Kahari melon, y'all, you can smell from 10, 15 feet away as a human, so imagine rats. Smell it from ever away. So as soon as they start to change orange, I give it hours once I see it, and then I harvest very quick. I do not do the, I'll just harvest it tomorrow. No, I lost so many of those melons last year because of that mentality. No more, no more. Got some more tomatoes right here that I planted from seed in starts and threw them out here, and they're actually growing really well. Very happy about that. Lemon cucumbers really took off. That makes me very happy. This section right through here, y'all, I'm going to do a video on planting spinach. You can get that started. I love spinach. It's absolutely one of my favorite vegetables. Now, you might be wondering, why do I have so many dry beans going on in here? Well, because I'm drying them out. I'm letting nature just dry them out for me. So once I harvest them, I can just bag them, seal them, and be ready for them next year. I know it might not look sightly, but that's what I'm doing. Container garden's looking really good, y'all. Really no issues out here. Other than, like, I really have to start switching out some of these older pots or containers for new containers. I just haven't moved either one of those yet, and those got knocked over from Hurricane Beryl. Again, I'll get that done soon. I know it doesn't look good. Believe me, I don't like how it looks either. Okay, we got these lemon squashes right here that I was worried weren't going to do anything, and look how good they're growing. So pretty soon I'll start trellising them up this trellis right here. And y'all, that's pretty much it. I want to show you one more thing though real quick. I didn't have a good pepper year, and that really bothered me. So I got a small little habanero plant, and I decided to try something different for the fall to see if this formula that I had in my head for a soil would work. Because next year, I'm going to go very hard on peppers, and I'll get more into that later toward the end of the year when I'm talking about next year. But this soil blend that I've made, that I still need to tweak a little bit, has doubled this habanero plant, and I only planted it at about 8 days ago. 8 days? About 8 days ago. And this plant has doubled in size, if not got a little bigger. Check this thing out. So that habanero is doing so good. Like, I can't even explain it. So I think I'm onto something with my soil blend, which again, I will go over with everybody once I get it tweaked perfectly. I'm very excited for that. Very excited for that habanero. Oh, hey, check this out. Look right there, y'all. Just saw those 2 white eggplants growing. That's awesome. And white eggplants are actually my favorite. So good. I've got a video on I've got a harvest and taste video on white eggplant, so I'll put up right here if y'all are interested. Super good tasting eggplant right there. All right, everybody, that's the garden tour for October 2024. A lot's going on out here. I wish there was a lot more, to be honest. We had a brutal summer. I was super busy. I should be a little further ahead, but it's still in the 90s here, and it's the beginning of October. It should be in the 80s. So we're still a little too hot for certain crops to come out here, which is fine. Again, I get long winters, or I get long falls that go basically right through the winter and into spring. So I'll still have a lot of time to plant, show y'all what I'm doing and all that. But hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, do me the 3 favors: share, like, and subscribe to this channel if you've not done so already. Y'all take care, God bless, continue to shine bright and harvest hard. On behalf of me and JoJo, the queen right over there, y'all have a blessed day. I'll talk to y'all again real soon.